Very cool. All right. Yeah, lots of cool things you can do with testing with eggs and things like that. We'll look at a few more next year before we even do the craft too. Okay, so slide number 17. So again, a lot of times forces are balanced and it feels like things are on cruise control, forces are balanced out and equal, but we also have a lot of times when they are not. And so there's unbalanced forces at work, and so then they will not cancel out. So just like if we have gravity pushing down and normal force following our surface, I have to do it with my other hand. Okay, so if my normal force follows the slope of the surface, these don't cancel out anymore. When the surface is flat, they cancel out, right? So as the slope changes, gravity stays perfectly perpendicular, perfectly straight up and down, but my normal force will change as my slope changes, okay? So those aren't canceling. Here they cancel. And so that's what we're looking at here. If they're not equal, they don't cancel out. And if they don't cancel out, then we're going to get something that is either going to speed up, slow down, or change directions. And that is the official definition of acceleration. Anytime an object does any of those three things, it's considered accelerating. And speeding up and slowing down is easy. Changing of direction is more very specific to physics and science, where, you know, we don't really think of that. You don't think of changing a direction as an acceleration, but obviously if you speed up or slow down, that's kind of our go-to thought for acceleration. Did everybody have that? I can't tell if you're doodling or still writing. Okay. So, again, always looking at the vector arrows. 80 newtons of force is applying to the right, and that's the applied force. And then the smaller force, what do you think this force is that's working against the motion? What would we call that, Andrew? What was it? Yep, it's probably drag or some kind of friction. Good. Right? And it says that the wagon is moving in this direction. All right, so those are definitely unbalanced forces. If they were balanced, it'd be like a stalemate. Equal this way, and it would be either not moving, or if it was moving, it would be constant movement. Okay. And so, if forces are unbalanced, the forces acting on the objects are not equal. That's what unbalanced means. What that prefix un is not. It's not balanced. And so we can see this in several ways. So if the applied force or the thrust is greater than the friction or drag, so just like in that picture of the wagon, the push to the right was greater than the friction that was working against it. Or if a ball, let's say, is rolling down, like rolling across the yard, and it's slowing down, the friction is stronger and slowing that object's motion because the force is no longer being applied, right? So the friction is kind of winning. So it's either stronger than the applied force, or the applied force is no longer being applied to it to keep it going. And so these situations would result in an object being moved in the direction of the stronger force. And again, this is the nice thing about this. It's common sense. We understand this. If a force is stronger, it's going to win. It's going to get motion in that direction. So whether that is an applied force or whether that is some form of a friction, whichever one's stronger, that is going to kind of take over and control the motion. Okay. And one final thing that I want to talk about is most of the time friction gets kind of a bad rap, right? What are some situations where we would try to reduce friction? Think in real life. When would you want friction to not be around? Paul? Well, there you probably actually, that's where there is no friction. You're right. But that's when you probably would want some friction, right? If you're slipping on ice, you'd probably want to get some friction, right? But you're right. If you want to skate around on the ice, then yeah, you don't want there to be friction around. So depending on your view of that. Ronan?
Crashing on a motorcycle.
Okay, so what specifically do you mean?
Well, if you're driving a motorcycle and you crash, you don't want there to be friction on it, so it's road rash.
Okay, so you want to be able to like slide without abrasion? Okay. Andrew? Ooh, I was hoping somebody would say that. All moving parts are going to rub past something else, right? Why do you think there's motor oil? Because of all the moving parts in your engine, right? They try to keep them lubricated and able to flow past each other without like grinding and getting real hot. That's how your motor will blow up and lock up, and then that's big trouble. Has anybody ever like had a laptop and had it sitting on their lap, or been on their phone like a really long time, or maybe playing Xbox? What do you notice happens to those devices as you're on them long term?
They get hot.
They get hot. Are they running around the room?
No.
No. But all the, like Andrew said, all those little internal moving parts kind of start to build up. That's why laptops, a lot of times you'll hear like even like a little fan kick on, or like gaming systems, like there's a fan that'll kick on, you'll hear it. It's trying to keep that cool.
Like in most definitely hear the fan, whoever's playing a PS4.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you don't want it to get too hot and then it'll crash, right? It can't function and work right.
When I play a game, we have this laptop with board. Whenever I play games on it, it would be like, "Ba-da!" Like the fan will automatically come on.
Yeah, well, it's because it reaches a certain temperature and it triggers it, for sure. What about, like sports? There's a couple that you kind of think of. Think of like Olympic sports. Any time that people are trying to reduce friction there? We have one of these sports I'm thinking of here in the spring. Max? Okay, yeah, you want the puck. You want the puck to be able to go, so you're on ice. They're trying to do hockey on like blacktop. That would not be hockey anymore. Okay, I see that.
That would be street hockey.
It would be street hockey. So Izzy said swimming. What do the swimmers do? Like, how do you see, what do they? Yeah, they put on like the cap, right? The swimming cap. So that, because what does hair do? It's going to drag that liquid. Well, every little bit counts, right? And so they're trying to reduce that friction. Does anybody have any friends that are swimmers, or any of you like professional swimmers? Or not professional, but like on a team? So a lot of swimmers shave their entire bodies. Arms, legs, boys, girls, everybody, everything. Because they don't want there to be any hair that can grab that water and slow them down. I had a friend in high school who was a swimmer, and they'd have shaving parties after practice.
What?
They'd have their bathing suits on, and like they'd be in the locker room and they'd shave everything. Like not their heads. That's what the caps are for.
I don't shave my head.
Boys and girls.
Think about their suits. Are they going in like a t-shirt and cut off shorts?
No.
I mean, have you ever jumped into a pond with t-shirts
Yeah.
cut off?
What's it do?
It
Sucks you down. That's drag. What about the track? If you watch the Olympics, the college and professional runners, they're out there in their underwear almost, right? It's like nothing, right? I mean, if you've seen it, it's like, I don't know if children should be watching this. Like, they are barely covered. There's a reason why, okay? They're trying to reduce that drag. Who here's a NASCAR fan?
My grandparents are.
Okay, so NASCAR is a billion-dollar industry. What are they trying to do? What is the ultimate goal of a race car?
Go fast.
Win. How do you win? Yeah, you have to go fast. So do everything you can do. If you can't make a motor more powerful to give you more applied force, what's the other way to go faster? Say that word again. Make the car more aerodynamic, where it can cut through the air, reduce friction to get rid of that drag that's holding them down, that's holding them back. So if you can't go faster with an applied force, try to go faster by reducing friction that's working against that speed. So there's lots of ways that we have to kind of work around friction. Now that it's about wintertime, we said that there's some circumstances where we want friction.
Like driving like snow already.
Yeah, so it's actually supposed to maybe have a chance of snow on Monday. What do we put on the roads to help increase friction? Salt will start to melt it, and it provides that grit. Sometimes they put that real fine gravel, they call it like number 9 grits, that's treated in salt water, and it provides kind of like a sandy, traction-y surface so that your tires can have more grip. Are your tires super smooth?
No.
Hopefully they're kind of nubby and they have tread. That tread is to get grip with the road. You don't want it to be so tight that it's hard for the car to move, but you want it to be able to make traction with the road, because if you're driving, you don't want to just like start slipping. So what about different types of soles of your shoes? Certain shoes have a lot more tread, right? A lot are really smooth.
Like Converse.
Yeah, Converse are smooth, Hey Dudes are pretty smooth, right? So you have different shoes for different purposes. So different treads will be for different surfaces, right? So if you're trying to make good contact and have be able to cut and move, you want a little tread. You want things to be a little stickier. You want friction. If you're bowling, do you want to go up to the lane and be and stick? You want to kind of slide a little bit. So bowling shoes are really smooth. So depending on the situation, it makes a difference. Okay?